what? Thank God. Why is the mic off? Are we live? Oh, well, I think we're live. I hope you guys can hear me. Mercury retrograde. Work with me. What are you doing? Good afternoon, Miss Tracy and everyone. Hi, Shannon. We can hear you, but you can't see me, right? Oh my goodness, Cam. How come you guys can't see me? That's weird. What am I doing wrong? I feel like I'm doing something wrong. The screen is black, right? Okay. All right. But I didn't know how to tell them that as a psychic with real energy pulsating through these fingers, that I can shut down computers. Don't worry about 5G. 5G is right here. That's where 5G is, right here. Like, I'm really afraid to even get the 5G. Because if I get the 5G, I might be, like, going across floors. Good afternoon. Are you serious? Your boss's energy messes with your cookie machine? I believe you. I hope you're not joking, because I do believe you. And second of all, why y'all got a cookie machine at work? Okay, so I was telling Instagram while we were waiting for you, YouTube, Periscope, Roku to catch up, because I can't stop my show, right? I can't stop my show because y'all don't want to, do right by me, right? But it's not even you, it's StreamYard. Who am I kidding? All right. But I was telling them, first of all, it's Mercury retrograde, right? And if you guys don't know Mercury retrograde, I do not have the time to explain Mercury retrograde to you. If you have not entered into the metaphysical world, don't expect me to teach you, but I will, right? I have people that know how to teach you. So we're going to get the peoples that know how to do their job, right? But any case, I was telling Instagram while we were waiting for you guys that I used to work for parking enforcement, and they put me in an office a lot, because I was older and you got to do a lot of walking. This was in Pasadena. You got to do a lot. I was older. They tried to put me on a bike. They really tried. Now, in hindsight, I wish I would have been on the bike, but I was overweight and it didn't make sense to put me on. They tried, though, because you have to get certified, right? In any case, since I couldn't get on the bike because they tried, they put me in an office. And I kept shutting the computers down. And then finally, they were like, she's doing something. So they put a camera in the office to watch me. But my peeps in the parking enforcement, they loved me. They were all Mexican, and they absolutely loved me. And they were like, Miss Brown, they got a camera on you. And I was like, why? Like, why? And they were like, because you keep messing with the computers. And I was like, I'm not. I was like, oh. But how do I tell them I'm a psychic? How do I tell them that these fingers are magical? How do I tell people that without looking crazy? So I had to let them put the cameras on me. There's nothing else they could do, because if I explained it, then I look batshit crazy. I'm not looking batshit crazy. But then they fired me. I told you, right? We talked about this. I've gotten fired from every job. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that someday. But how being fired from every job led me to where I'm at today. So you got to look at the good that comes out of COVID. Every damn job I have gotten fired. Like, I've gotten fired from so many jobs. I literally go in and go, how long, God? How long? And they love me in the beginning. You're always like, oh my God, we're so glad to have you. Blah, blah, blah. And then they find out I'm hell on wheels because I have an HR background, many, many years of HR. And so when I go into companies that have HR issues, I will communicate that with the employees. I'd be like, let me tell you what the law says. And then they find out that I'm the troublemaker. And they fire me. But I'm of gratitude because I would not be doing God's work today. Right? So you got to look at the positive amongst the negative. So I say that to say COVID is here, right? Many of you may not be able to keep your jobs. I promise you. And that's not a bad thing. It's prep. It's prep work. If we have another shutdown, this could be really catastrophic for many people that didn't think they could get touched because they didn't get touched the first time, right? And I'm not trying to scare you. We just need to deal with reality now. And so with that being said, what you will find is, what is it? Because it's not going to be about you when COVID says, oh, you can't come back anymore. Mm-mm. It's not going to be about you, although it could be. Who knows? I'm not the one to say you're a bad employee. That's not my job. But it could just be COVID, right? Think about it. So we're not going to take anything personally. We're reading this book called The Four Agreements by Don Luis Miguel. I'm going to have his name all twisted. Don Luis Miguel. Don Miguel Ruiz. I forget his name now. Where's the book at? I might as well just show you all the book. I thought I wasn't going to get up, but you know how that happens. No, I don't have the book here. Why don't I have the book here? You know why I don't have the book? Because the book club hasn't been reading the book in the past few weeks. Book club, we must read today. I can't remember the book. Can anybody look it up? The Four Agreements, and tell me the author. And one of the things that he says is don't take things personally, right? And that's a little hard when your boss pulls you in and says, okay, so we've had some changes at work and we're going to have to release you with no benefits, right? No severance package. You know, you're just one of 100 that has to leave, right? Some of y'all aren't even going to come to work to receive that memo. They're just going to send you an email. I promise you, right? Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements. And he has this thing where he's like, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. And that's hard, right? It's hard when someone calls you out your face or calls you out your name for you not to take it personally. But usually when someone calls you out your face or your name, they're really talking about themselves, that they don't like themselves and they don't like the way they feel about themselves, but they auto-correct it by pushing it back onto you. That happens a lot in racism, right? But you can't see it, especially if it's like, you know, two opposite cultures. You can't see it. But what they really are saying is that I don't like me. I don't like the way this makes me feel. But I don't know how to do anything about it. And the only thing I do know is how to push back with racist words, racist antics, right? But again, I respect that it's going to be hard, that if your boss pulls you in and they're like, hey, so, but realistically, are you all not watching the COVID? Realistically, the Midwest is not okay right now. It's going to go back, you know, from the center back. And by the way, that's a predicted it. The Midwest was a predicted it. Their numbers are rising exponentially. Did I say the word right? Sometimes I try to use big words. So if they're rising in the center, it's going to come back to New York, come back to California. And there has to be like some sense of, hey, everybody get together. This is what needs to be done, which means jobs have to, again, look at their employees to survive. I'm in Ohio and cases are rising. Yeah, I heard about Ohio, Jerry. And thank you for coming on. Let's not do a prediction during morning purpose. Like those predictions are for, you know, regular readings. Let's stay focused. I'm only bringing this up because I was telling Instagram I got fired from every job. And to not take it personally, because the COVID has something to say to you. Can you hear the COVID? Can you listen to the COVID? Because the COVID is saying the way you're operating is unhealthy. Personally, the way you're operating is unhealthy. So, can you operate differently? That's what the COVID is saying. Can you figure out that maybe if you're operating unhealthy, can you look at it right now? Can you survive? Can you stop buying clothes? Now, you're not going anywhere. What dates are you going on? What churches are you going to? I got a closet full of beautiful church dresses. I mean, just adorable things. And just the other day, I'm like, I think it's time to donate my clothes. They're just so beautiful. I just love my church clothes. But I think it's time to give back, my clothes. And I have no interest in giving it to Goodwill so that they could resell it. I actually got them all from Goodwill. This is a true story. All of my dresses are from Goodwill. I don't want to give it back to Goodwill. I literally just want to put my clothes on a hanger, one of those hanger things, and give it to my church because they have a food pantry, and just let people take my dresses. Mm-hmm. I just donated to my hometown, Lake Charles. That is really good because Lake Charles is, whew, boy, did they get hit hard. Same here, closets and closets of office wear. Right. Things have changed in your life. It's time to clean house. But clean house means, are you really going to ever wear those designer shoes ever again? Really? Wouldn't it be nice to donate shoes to someone who never thought they could have red bottom shoes? Wouldn't that be interesting to do something like that? And not to Goodwill. And there's nothing against Goodwill because Goodwill hires disabled people. So I'm not against Goodwill. I'm just saying, is there somebody you can just kind of go, are you a size 8, 10, 11? Here. They've only been worn once. I just did that, gave away my business clothes. Right. So we're getting it, right? Second person. I had to give away clothes, had gastric bypass surgery, so clothes had to be sold. That's what I'm talking about. Let's start figuring out we could be better. It's okay if our closets are empty. Guess why? Guess what colors we're going to be wearing, especially during the winter? Black, blue, gray. They will die when they get my stuff. Laugh out loud. They're gorgeous. I work in retail. Oh my God, if you work in retail. I'm salivating. People are going to be so happy. Hi Michelle. Oh wow. Sarcastic Honey says we put unwanted stuff in our apartment lobby with the free sign. It gets taken quickly. I wish I could do that out here. I wish I could do that out here. That way I don't have to take it all the way to my church. My friends and I swap clothes all the time. Exactly. Kayla, I'm not sure what you're saying. Hey, argument. It feels from his heart to let him make always leading you. I heard. I held him a lot. Well, so let's talk about what Kayla's talking about. I don't know if you got into a heated argument or are you a victim to Mercury retrograde? There's Mercury retrograde and then there's Mars retrograde. And so there's going to be a lot of fights and arguments. And I got to tell you, with Mars in retrograde, somebody needs to win. So somebody needs to win, they're going to slam you. Like, not physically, but really just nail, like, the argument and bring up the past. And, here's what I want to say. You're not safe until November 13th. Do not argue with anyone. Do not think you're going to win at your job. Do not think you're going to win with your spouse. You may not even win with your children. You have to be like, I'm going to register that. here's what you need to do. You have to be like, I'm going to register that in my Dear God journal. All right? You have to be like, son was very, very disrespectful to me. And you got to write that down, the date, the time. And you got to be like, for later. Things to do on November 13th. Get your Dear God journals, people. I love my journal. If you want your own personal reading, I do have openings. TracyBrownLive.com. Listen, I'm wide open tomorrow, Thursday. Wide open Friday. I have openings today. The way I like to work out my readings is that I clear the books for today. The next day is always wide open. I mean, there's always booking because if I book out, then we have to book you. So there's always a booking or two the next day. But for the most part, I always have openings. Remember that, right? So get your reading. Go to TracyBrownLive.com to text me. That's how everybody gets through text or email. Are we good? Black, blue, gray. That's all we're going to be wearing. It's all I wear now. And just loungers. Right. Just loungers. Listen, you know what I did today? I went to McDonald's in my pajamas. I went in this. And you know what else I did? I went in my bonnet. I wore my bonnet to McDonald's. The COVID has reduced me to wearing bonnets now in the street. I just didn't want to change clothes, to put back on my pajamas, to do the morning purpose. I went to wash clothes this morning. I was already outside. I don't even go to wash clothes in my bonnet. But I was like, COVID is changing me. And I don't think I care anymore. Right? So I was like, I'm going to wear my bonnet out in the street. I would never do this. Are you kidding? I'm a Leo. Leos don't walk out half-ass. It's not who we are. Okay. But I did. And then when I was coming from the laundry in my complex, I was like, God, I just want to have a drink. Right? And I just want to have some McDonald's. Right? And so, by the way, I don't drink out of my McDonald's cup anymore. I know you might. I don't. Just weird stuff going on in my life. Because you never know who has COVID, right? And so I don't drink out of the cup anymore. And get your Dirk's Wipes, people. This is, if you want the cure-all, Dirk's Wipes is the cure-all, right? There's so many ways to organize yourself so that you don't get the COVID. By the way, everyone, I know I'm talking a lot today. It's just because maybe I'm just full of anxiety, because we got the Supreme Court nominations going on. It's just giving me anxiety. When I get anxiety, I talk a lot. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's because we have, 45, having maskless rallies. I don't know. But I will ramble on when I'm having issues. And you are victims to my anxiety levels because they're severe at this point. Yes, they are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what y'all need to do? You need to cover the hair of the patients too. Mm-hmm. When I had my son, I'll never forget. When I had my son, I was a C-section, and they said, you're half seed, right? It's not like fully under, right? You're half seed, so you're just numb from the bottom up, and they keep the top like all alive. I was very lucky, I think, because I had a black doctor. I didn't recognize back then, but God knew that black mothers have some issues during childbirth, and he gave me a black OBGYN. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted a good doctor, but lo and behold, I got a black Dr. Robertson. I will never forget him. He's probably retired now because my son is 30 and he was like 50 at the time. He's probably retired. I hope he's still alive. Doesn't really matter. He was a good doctor, though. In any case, so when I was having my son, I said to them, I need something on my head. And I remember the nurses saying, why is that? Why does she need something on her head? And I remember thinking, why are you questioning me? If I say I need something on my head, put something on my head. And so they listened because I was panicking. You just panic and you're like, I'm having a C-section and a baby and I need something on my head, period. It's stressful. Symptoms of COVID. They ruled it out. Good. As a viral situation, but COVID is viral, and it happened as soon as we stepped outside. These 4 months. Well, maybe just keep the baby inside. There's an old black rule, and y'all don't follow this at all. You youngins don't follow this. But there was an old rule. You don't bring that baby out for 3 months. That was an old rule. And if you brought your baby out in 3 months, your mama and your aunties would lay you out. Does anybody remember that? Anybody remember that? And I would think in the COVID, don't let them out for 6 months. But that's impossible. You can let them out. Let them out. You can let them outside if they go to the doctors, but you're supposed to be back inside. And they didn't care how miserable, crying, postpartum. Nobody knew about postpartum years ago. I don't care, girl. I don't care. You can cry. You can cry inside your house. But you don't bring that baby outside. That's what they used to say to us. It was so funny. They hated young mothers, your aunties. But I'm glad they, at the very least, ruled out COVID. At the very least. That makes me happy, Kayla. Yes, I did that, right? You understand, right? Always glowed up. I remember that. Yes. We don't yell at our girls anymore. We don't yell at them. We have to be like, don't you dare take that baby out for 3 months. Oh, come over and I will knock you down, right? That's what our mothers used to say to us. They used to say worse. Be like, I'll slap the S out of you, right? Oh, yes. And Cynthia B says in Mexican culture, it's 2 months. And in Mexican culture, if you in California, they cover their babies with a thick ass blanket. It could be 90 degrees outside. Y'all got a thick ass blanket on that. Yeah. Because they believe in like spiritual energy coming to attack the baby. By the way, Coco's playing on Channel 7 tonight. Please watch it. Coco. I gotta put this air back on. Coco. Where's my book? Coco. My Dear God book was inspired by Coco, Dia de las Muertes. Please watch Coco with your children tonight on ABC. You will not regret it. It is such an amazing story of Mexican care. Please see how the Mexicans care about their ancestors and then copy them. It is such a celebration. It is so much fun. And listen, we all care about ancestors that have passed over, right? But how many of you all have an altar, an ancestral altar? Probably zero. Start building an ancestral altar with the pictures of your relatives. Mm-hmm. Destiny knows. Destiny's from California. She's like, yeah, them blankets be thick. Yeah. Because that spiritual energy, they're not trying to have evil spirits jump into their baby's body. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Uh-huh. I respect every religion that has, stuff going on. And by the way, I know I'm talking too much, but I don't care. By the way, try to find care in other religions. I'm building my channel to be about spiritual awareness, right? And when I say building, I mean I'm on Roku, so you can find me on Tapped TAPPDN. I'm on Roku, and I'm building my channel and changing everything up. I have been so angry for the last 4 years that I can't take it anymore. Hi, Gio. Hi, sweetie. I will refuse to be angry anymore. The world is changing, and I've got to figure out a way to change with the world. And because the world is changing, I got to get in there spiritually to save some people that are like, oh my God, what is happening to my life? When changes that look bad can really be good. But do we need to woosah? Woosah. My channel is going to be all about the woosah. But it's also going to be about spiritual awareness of other cultures. All right? I want to bring people on my channel to explain things like Dia de las Muertes. I never knew about this in New York City. I found out about it when I came to California. And I want you guys to be fully aware spiritually, because the way we've been operating, disrespecting other cultures, disrespecting the spiritual growth that's required from all of us, guess what, guys? It's not working for you anymore. Mm-mm. That's why COVID is here. Thank you, Deborah. Many similar practices across cultures. So we got to find a way to get along. We got to find a way to respect others' ideology. I'm not asking you to be that. I'm saying, isn't it interesting that another culture does things this way? Isn't that interesting? We got to learn to meditate. We got to learn Reiki. We got to learn about crystals. We got to learn how to talk to our water. Oh, yes. Oh, you don't know about the water talking with, what's his name? Masasuro? You don't know this? I'm going to teach you all of it. Vitamin D3, Ellis Cherry. Get your vitamin D3. Cynthia B says, my grandmother every year does an altar for her lost sons and family. She has the Virgin Mary candles. It goes with candles. Yeah. And skulls. Skulls are really big in California. Ooh, yes, they are. On the altar, and picture frames. I know. Yeah. I used to be scared of skulls. I just used to go, because there's like skulls made of crystals, and I'd be like, I finally brought a skull, and I can't find it now. But I'll buy another skull, especially from my store, the Green Man store. You know. All right, guys. I've been pulled this card. Let's take a look at it. Are you guys ready? Ready? Okay, just reading some of the comments. Visionary. I like that. Capacity to to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Wow. Wow, that's going to be something that's going to be hard for everyone to understand. To envision something, let me see, without personal gain. When in this world, what do we look for? We look for personal gain. We look for financial development. We look for, if I make this, will you buy it? And I'm not against all of that. I think what Spirit is trying to say more than anything is do not lead with wanting financial gain. Don't lead with that. Lead with a product that you could create, that you envision, a book that you could write, a poet that can just speak without initially wanting to be paid. You know, your payment comes later. Your payment is about, it's about word of mouth. I remember when I started out my channel at the Green Man store, out of one of the offices, and 0 people watched me. 0. For like 6 months. But I just kept doing the videos because I just could tell, you know, celebrities weren't always, 1, telling the truth, and 2, I could always see the outcome. And I was like, just let me do it just because I can see the outcome. And the outcome would come out by way of my prediction, right? Beyonce's babies, I predicted. The twins, I predicted a boy and a girl. All of Ciara's babies. Well, not the first one, but the last 2, I predicted it, and I predicted the sexes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do it with purpose to help, and then it becomes prosperous. See, my people help me with, you know, the right words. Thank you. Vision. Oh. When I get happy, I dance, and sometimes, many times, when I have a plate of food, I dance at dinner in restaurants on a date. I'm like, before I eat, because it looks so good that you have to do like the sitting happy dance. You guys do that? You should. It just makes me so happy to see a plate of food. Yeah, yeah. All right, but I'm dancing this time because visionary is for dreamers, prophets. Oh yes, I'm a prophet. And seers. That's why I was dancing. I was like, the metaphysical world will grow in the COVID. Get on board, people. Don't tell me it's devil's work. I don't care. Get on board with spirituality, because that is going to be the next big thing. Dreamer, prophet, seers lets you imagine possibilities. This is so beautiful, that are beyond the scope of your individual life. Imagine that. Imagine that possibility, that you get to expand beyond your own selfishness, your own concerns, your own money issues. Imagine that. That's hard for most, right? It can happen though. And to imagine that the benefit will be for all of society. I love that. Because that's what I'm trying to build my channel on Roku to be. To expand beyond me. to reach the masses, to bring about people that's been working in this world and can really heal you. All right? Brings into view what could be if certain choices are made. What could be if you stop obsessing over your boyfriend, over your ex? What 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 could be? What could be if you admit that you might have a little bit of depression, a little bit of anxiety, and that you might need some meds? What could life be if you could calm your spirit down to hear and see better? Brings into view what could be if certain choices are made, or what is inevitable given choices that have already been made. What's COVID going to bring you? COVID's going to bring you choices that are beyond your control. How are you going to handle that? These is what the things that we need to do to understand how not to go down with the COVID. COVID wants to make structural changes, period. And our diet is a structural change we need to start looking at. Look for long-term passion. What's your passion? To see beyond obvious or momentary actions to perceive a larger pattern. Whew, that is deep. Ironically, it is something that Jim Dawes and I was kind of talking about this morning. It's just funny how spirit just comes in. We were just talking about this morning in text message. Jim Dawes, are you here anywhere? I didn't see her come in. Sometimes she looks at morning purpose later. But we were just having this conversation. I'm going to pick this because this is being highlighted here. All right, I'm going to pick this. All right. It's beautiful. I just think this visionary card is everything I was just saying, not recognizing that I was going to pull a card to talk about what I was just saying with COVID. And hey guys, there's no accident. And because I trust God implicitly, I really feel the dots constantly get connected with me. But the dots can get connected with you too. Okay? Yes. Ellis Cherry says, we gotta go vegan. Meat has been killing us. Watch What the Health and throw out all your animal products. Oh, watch some show called What the Health and throw out all your animal products. You know better, do better. I think vegan is one. I think plant-based is another, right? I'm more concerned with high sodium products because a lot of plant-based has a lot of high sodium. So that's a problem for me. So I think you need to look at your sodium content, nothing over 200 milligrams. I also think your carb count is what's really killing us. And I think many of us eat too many carbs. So I would suggest looking at the back of any product. And if it has more than 8 grams of carbs, you might want to put it down. And check your fruit. Many fruits are way too high in carbs. The only ones that aren't that high are blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. Everything else, too high in carbs. Okay, I'll watch it. What the hell? What the hell? I'll watch it. Carbs equal sugar. Thank you for the sensitive. Yes, carbs equal sugar. Also, are what blows us up. Like you blow up like a football player with carbs. Also, I want to encourage dandelion and parsley to put in your teas because it's getting hot now. You can also put it in your coffee. Wash the dandelion, wash the parsley, but you can buy dandelion tea now, literally in a box. Dandelion is a very natural way to get rid of excess water inside your body. And parsley stops the leg cramps. I'm not a fan of taking pills if I don't have to. If I don't have to, I think your doctor gives you enough pills. And so there's a way to organize taking, solving. And bananas aren't going to help you because bananas are high in carbs. But parsley, a swig of real parsley in your tea, you never suffer from leg cramps. All right? Okay. Ellis Cherry says the doctor says meats are 10 times worse than carbs and sugar, but certainly let's watch our carbs and sugar. Yeah. We have allergies to carbs and sugars, and most people don't know it. Dandelion is a good kidney and liver cleanser, too. I didn't know that. Look at that. I didn't know that. Thanks for the parsley tip. Oh, yeah, parsley is important. I'm not a fan of taking potassium pills because there are just some natural stuff that you can just take. So just a swig of parsley, and you don't have to do it every day. All right. I would say if you take dandelion tea, either package or live, right? I buy the whole plant at my store. And you just add it to your regular tea, you add it to your regular hot coffee, and throw that parsley in. You're not going to taste it. It's not going to change your coffee. It's not going to change your tea. Sweeten it as you want. But it does get rid of the excess water inside of you. And then drink water. Drink water. All right. I wonder how that black water is with minerals. Yeah, and what I did is that I have a NutriBullet, and so I do my own celery juice. So now I take my celery juice, my dandelion, my parsley, add some spring water, mix it up in a bullet, and then strain it. So, strain it so that only the juice comes out, and I sweeten it to taste. I know you're not supposed to sweeten it, but I don't care. I do sweeten it with stevia or something like that. I don't like that crap plain. No, it's not helping me. And that's how I get my dandelion, my parsley, my celery. And if it's not celery one day, it's cucumber the next day. Or sometimes it's both. All right. Honey, it can be good, but honey could be high in sugar too. So, a daily dose of honey could be a problem because it's high in sugar. So I'm not going to recommend honey for those that have diabetes. I don't know if dandelion works and parsley works in water. I think it can work if you let it sit overnight. I know it works with hot water. I don't think it works with cold water, but if you do it, just let it sit overnight. No, I cannot recommend any apples, any pineapple for sweetening. 0. For diabetics, that's a death sentence. So no apple, no pineapple. No, 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 no. For diabetics, you're just pouring sugar into their veins. All right, let's move on. We got the card Visionary. I don't know where it is now. And now we have King of Wands. King of Wands. King of Wands. What does King of Wands mean in terms of visionary? That's the way I have to look at it. Leadership. Leadership. Hi, York. Leadership. Enterprise. Where is the visionary card? Damn it. Sloppy psychic here. Where's my visionary card? I lost it. Oh, here it is. Leadership. Enterprise. Being in charge of self. Charm. Strength. Motivated. Time to enter the grown-up world. Time to take charge. Intelligence in your expertise of your visionary. Enthusiasm. Time to take on this challenge. Passion. What is your passion? A commanding presence in your visionary self. But charisma. Come on, guys. Who wants to open up a YouTube channel, Instagram presence, TikTok? Come on, guys. Optimism. Encouragement. Creativity. Professionalism. Unexpected income. Mediation, arbitration, negotiation. You may receive sound advice from a strong, mature person. This isn't a reading. I want to be careful what I'm saying. A decisive leader, a person in charge of an enterprise, a generous, loyal, committed. Remember, we're talking about committed to the vision. It's important. Someone is very passionate about what they're doing, also very generous. Virile. And virility has to do with women too, right? Right? But adventurous. A good negotiator. Also, jobs include journalists, teachers, preachers, salespeople, those involved in promotions, those involved in marketing, anyone that is a dreamer, particularly in a metaphysical world. Hi, the name James. Hi. Hi, sweetie. Oh, that just hit home. Did it, Katrina? Thank you. Going out for what you want. And if you feel embarrassed by it, good. That's the best part. I was totally embarrassed to do these videos on YouTube. But I will tell you, I was the only black person, only black psychic. It was unheard of. And I refused to call myself a prophet. I refused to call myself a prophet. I didn't feel entitled to have that title over my head when prophet was so big in the Bible. You know? But psychic was more well known, and I needed to trigger people. I needed people to see that there could be a black psychic out there. I wasn't trying to insult religious people, and so I couldn't use the word prophet. I didn't feel comfortable using the word prophet. But don't get it twisted. I'm a hella prophet. Because when I went to do this, I asked God, is it okay? And then I realized I had to go further. I asked God, if I mention your name, will you show me that it's okay? And in almost every reading, I mentioned God's name. I didn't pray today. I always forget to pray in the morning purpose. What's that about? But as long as I get God's name out, that was my agreement with God, not prayer. My agreement was to mention God's name And I think in every purpose, I try to mention God's name. Right? And with that being said, Spirit is constantly speaking through me. Christ is constantly speaking through me in my voice. In that crazy head of mine. But I bring the crazy to you, and you guys love the crazy. And I love that you love the crazy. I love that you guys love the crazy. And now the crazy's in a bonnet and in pajamas. And apparently that's a really big hit. So here's what I'm going to ask all of you. If you want, it's completely up to you. But I do need some other types of decks. I prefer ethnic decks. But I'm not fussy. So if you want to send me any oracle decks to do the morning purpose, I would be honored. So it's P.O. Box 8563, Los Angeles, California, 90008. And let me tell you something. When I started as a psychic on YouTube, there were no black psychics. None. And now you have so many. I did that. And they have their hair flipping and weaving in different colors, and I just love it. I love the multiple of black psychics. Somebody's getting their carpet cleaned. I know that sound anywhere. It's a very specific sound when you get your carpet cleaned. Great book on black psychics? What? I'll check it out on Amazon. Prophets, American Psychic and Visionaries. Why my name in it? All right. How did the tea taste? Who cares how the tea tastes? Sweeten it to taste your tea. Put some dandelion in. Put some parsley in it and get rid of that excess water inside of you. Who cares? Just start doing the right thing. COVID does not like you not doing the right things to your body. Come on, guys. Who cares how it tastes? Just start putting dandelion or buy the dandelion. You can literally buy the dandelion in the tea aisle. Why do you think it's available? Think about it. Dandelion wasn't available 3 years ago. Why do you think it's available? Because it has healthy properties. Get some dandelion tea, either packaged or live, the plant, and parsley, a swig of parsley, and just get rid of that excess water. That's what I want you to do, period. I don't want to write. If I write, it's definitely not going to be about a bunch of psychics. It's going to be about Orishas. If I write. I really love my Orishas. And after Chango is done, remember, I'm still selling the Chango herbs, but I'm having some concern about the Chango herbs. And still, the Chango herbs is for October 31st event. After our October 31st event, we will move on to other Orishas. Okay? We're going to do a recap of all the Orishas that we have spoken about. And then there's a new cycle of Orishas coming through. Hi, Helen. Hi, Jay Burton. Hi, Jatone. How are you, sweetie? All right, guys. Greetings. Great day to all. Hi, Ina. Thank you for saying that. That's it, guys. I kept you for an hour for morning purpose. I don't like that. Morning purpose is 15 minutes and 15 minutes alone. However, today was an exception. So I hope you enjoy morning purpose today. We did have a lot to talk about. I will be back to my 15 minutes. The whole purpose is to capture y'all and send y'all on your work days. All right? October 31st is the next big event. Order your Shango oils. I have made them specifically priced very cheaply. I did it on purpose because I want the event to be amazing. I want it to be a grand event. Where 3 or more people gather, God hears. All right? I love you. You're amazing in my life. Thank you for letting me into your homes, into your workplaces. Thank you for listening to me. And let's grow together. As I communicate with you all, I'm learning for me too. Okay? I need to go visit my sissy pool. Gotta go visit my sissy pool. I love you all. Bye.